Okay, how I feel about the whole Texas and Longhorn thing going on with the expansion to the SEC. I think it's just flat out ridiculous. It doesn't even make any sense for Texas and Oklahoma to go to the SEC. To me, it benefits Oklahoma more than Texas because Oklahoma is the best team in the Big 12. They're carrying that team on its back. So I can see Big 12 departure from them because they have the talent to go against the SEC with against the SEC and beat some of those teams. However, Texas is the biggest fish in the pond, but they're not the best fish in the pond. They're getting beat by Oklahoma all the time. And you want to go to the SEC? What's that going to do for you? Everybody's saying it's all about recruiting, and no, let's just cut the bull crap. It's about money. It's all about TV deals and money. That's all it's all about. That's all they care about. But my whole thing I don't understand is why. Texas is the most profitable college in the whole land, the whole United States. Why would you want to share revenue with the SEC? I don't see any point of that. It's not so. What? So you can get a couple extra $1,000,000? Is that really what it is, or is it actually? People say, "Oh, it's going to improve their chances with the playoffs." There's nothing official with the playoffs right now. It's still 4 teams. Hopefully, they do change it to 12 or whatever teams. But right now, it's still 4. Right now, if the Texans join the SEC say they join tomorrow, which I know it's going to take a couple of years, maybe a year or two, to officially join the conference if they decide to. But say if they join next year, there's no way in hell they would go to the playoffs. Their best chances is staying at the Big 12. That's a God honest truth. So why would you want to move to a conference, a harder conference, where you could be the big fish in a small pond in the Big 12 and then get an easier chance to get in the playoffs? Nah, let's go to the SEC and get my butt whooped. So that's what they're basically Texas is saying. I think it benefits Oklahoma more than Texas. I don't see why Texas want to join, but like I said, this is all about brands right now. With the whole likeness thing going on, and SEC is the premier conference, I can see why they want to do it. But at the same time, they're going to get destroyed. I just don't think Texas is in a great spot to even make this move. In long term, I think they'll be middle of the road. They'll win between 7 and 9 games, and Texas will just be irrelevant. That's what's going to end up happening. I mean, they're just average now. They're just going to be the same, but have a different patch in their uniform. That's the only difference. And you can call them a hater, but that's just the truth. Well, they're going to get recruits from Florida. They'll have a bigger pipeline. That's bogus, man. Let me tell you about some of the truth about college football. It doesn't matter what conference you're in. What matters is who is in charge of that program. And who's in charge of that program is the head coach. And the head coach is the program. He goes out and recruits. He creates the pipelines. He'll go to places that nobody goes to and get the guys. Look at what happened in Miami when they first started. The coach who started, man, I forgot his name. It's a long name. Start with an S. Somebody comment if they see this. He went into the hood, places that a lot of coaches were afraid to go to, and he got that talented Florida guys, and it lasted a good 20 years. The Miami U, and the U became the U. Okay, that coach had enough courage to reach out to those guys and get the talent that he needed to make the Miami Hurricanes who they are today. That's all it takes. It takes a courageous coach with some cojones to reach out to these players and recruit them. That's it. It's not about pipelines, and that's all bogus jargon. It's the head coach, and the head coach, whoever he hires on the staff who recruits, it depends on that. All right? Look at Matt Rule. Matt Rule went from little old Temple in Philadelphia, made them relevant and near a ring. Then he went from Temple to Baylor, and Baylor had that scandal that hurt them pretty bad and made them ranked. They almost beat Oklahoma and could have went to a playoff. So don't give me that crap, man. So when Texas thinking, oh, we're going to go to a different conference because of pipeline recruiting, I'm sorry, I call bullcrap. The problem with Texas is they got the wrong coach, but also they have unrealistic expectations. So this is another unrealistic expectation. Let's join the SEC, and it's going to be wonderful. No, you're just going there for money. Just cut the crap. It's all about money. And if you do join there, I'm telling you, they're going to be 7-9 wins, which is good, but not Texas standard. We know that the Texas Longhorns have unrealistic expectations. And Oklahoma, I think Oklahoma will do okay, but even then, they're going to have a hard road to get to the playoffs. They may not go to the playoffs for a few shots because if they join the SEC. SEC is no joke, man. They got Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Auburn, LSU. Those are the premier teams. They're pretty tough teams. Could they hang with them? Yeah, maybe, but I'm telling you, it's going to be extremely rare for any of those teams to be undefeated. They'll probably have to they'll be making playoffs with maybe 2 losses. That's how tough the SEC is. And I just don't see where's the benefit. Where's the benefit? Tell me where the benefit is. Let me know. Oh, they can get more exposure. They already have a channel. They have their own channel, Longhorns. And they act like the Big 12 is trash. Like, that's a straight disrespect to all the other teams in the Big 12. The Baylor is a solid team. TCU is a solid team. Kansas State is a solid team. Iowa State, they've been ranked for a few years. So that's a big slap in the face. I'd be pissed if it was the other teams. Like, really? Really? You know, that's how I would be pissed at. I would be very upset with Texas and Oklahoma because to me, they're showing tremendous disrespect to the conference. They're saying, you know what, you guys are beneath me. We rather go to the SEC and get our butts whooped by them than play you guys. And the thing is, those teams have been solid. They're not, to this, you know what this reminds me of? Because I'm a Rutgers fan. I actually went to Rutgers. And F you guys who say Rutgers suck. You guys kick rocks. But Rutgers were in the Big East at one point. And they had solid teams. They had Louisville, West Virginia, Syracuse, Pitt. They were ranked teams. And they were solid teams. But who wanted to move? West Virginia. And now West Virginia is in the same predicament before they left the Big East. They're the reason why the Big East crumbled. Because they wanted to go on to the Big 12. And guess what's happening? I call that irony. I call that karma. Look at you now. Texas wants to leave. Now Oklahoma wants to leave. West Virginia is in no man's land. To me, West Virginia should have went to the ACC. If I know the ACC didn't want them at the time, but that's where they should have went. So this affects West Virginia a lot. I think that's the team that's going to be affected a lot. I heard Kansas might go to Big Ten. I heard some other things, but I really believe that the team that will be affected the most will be West Virginia because they're in no man's land. The only reason they joined was because of money. But anyway, before I get off course, like I said, this is all about branding. This is a monopolization, and if they do expand, this will monopolize the whole entire college football, and Big Ten, Pac-12 are going to start scooping teams. There's going to be poaching going on. So for me personally, I think the Big Ten should nab Virginia or Clemson. Why not? They're stealing guys, so might as well steal them too. Clemson would be pretty interesting to have in the Big Ten, but I don't see that happening. But it would be cool to have them in the conference. And you got Notre Dame still floating out there. I think Notre Dame is getting to the point where being independent doesn't benefit them anymore. To me personally, I think Big Ten would be perfect for Notre Dame. It's right in Indiana. You got Purdue right there. You got Indiana University. You got Michigan, Ohio State. Hello, Midwest. Perfect fit, but we'll see about that. But they may stay independent. BYU still out there. But like I said, to the original point, I just don't think Oklahoma and Texas moving SEC just doesn't make sense to me. It just don't make sense. Don't make sense. You're gonna hurt your own brand for a couple million. That's all they're doing. They're hurting their own brand. A couple million. You have an easy path every year to get to the playoff. Now I'm telling you, if they make this move, it's gonna shoot them in the foot. It's gonna shoot them in the foot. I tell you, if you want to see Texas being relevant more, join SEC. You just be another guy. Look what happened to Missouri. Missouri used to be a solid football team, ranked every year. They were in a discussion, top 25. Now they're just another team. They're just, who cares? That's what's going to end up with Texas. Oklahoma, I still think they can hold their own, but I don't know. We'll see. I think it's just not a good decision.